What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Beater Toolmonger here. Today, I'm going to talk about Icon tools. Oh! No, I'm just kidding. I know it's the talk of the town. Everybody's talking about Icon tools, but I'm a heavy-duty mechanic, and I put my tools through hell. Everything is tight. Everything is rusted. We're in the Rust Belt. It's incredible how much beefier it is to automotive. And you know, coming from the background of automotive, the amount of stuff I've broken because stuff was just too tight. It doesn't matter who it was: Mac, Snap-on, Matco, Cornwell, any of the industrial brands, Proto, Williams. You know, I had so many things break on me, and a lot of it could be due to age. Mostly were ratchets and old wrenches, and ratcheting wrenches. But you know, because I've had them for, oh man, I don't know. I started buying professional tools about 8 years ago. Not professional tools, but like tool truck brand tools. And so anyways, I wanted to try something a little cheaper. And you know, everybody's talking about Icon, and you know, I've been on the bandwagon with it as well. To be honest with you, I was excited to see Harbor Freight come out with something better. I think is a better word for it. It definitely looks better. We don't know yet. You know, there's a lot of videos out there that have tested them and have been doing it slowly over the weeks of what they're finding with the ratchets. I've seen a couple, what do you want to call them? Torture tests. Like Client Graphics did the torture test of the 3/8 ratchets. I don't know if he did a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. I can't remember. But I definitely watched the 3/8, and you know, he did the torque test by hand and then by pipe to see how many foot-pounds the head could withstand, or the ratchet period. You know, whether it be the flex point or the pawl inside. But so, anyways, I bought two of them, and I bought the 1/4 inch flex head with the comfort grip. The part number is 64693. And then I bought the 9 7/16 inch long 3/8 comfort grip. Now the reason behind these, actually, let me give you a part number for that 3/8. It's 56190. So the reason I bought these was, one, the 3/8 is just a bit longer than a regular 3/8 without the comfort grip. It's maybe, I got a Mac one here. Let me bring it over. It is, I would say, maybe 1.5 inches, maybe pushing 2 inches longer. And the way you hold it, here's the Mac, here's the Icon. If you hold them up, and they're almost lined up identical, it's about the full length of the head from the bottom of the plate to the top, taller than the Mac. Now, it's not a whole lot of difference when it comes to torque, but for me, having to push my hand and my palm onto comfort grip material, so rubber or whatever material they use, and breaking something loose, I feel it's a lot more comfortable than having just cold steel. And it's a lot thinner diameter. If you look, I don't have a measuring tool or caliper here to give you exact thickness differences, but just in hand and in feel. I've used the Snap-on one from a buddy, and I use my regular Snap-on at work. Or this one, and I can feel the difference in how the pressures are in my hand, and trying to keep your hands from being damaged as little as possible is much easier to do with the cushion grip or the soft grip. And again, with that extra little bit of leverage, you can get into something a little deeper, a little farther into the engine bay or wherever, and just having that just bit of an advantage is nicer. And honestly, having just a regular ratchet like this, I've never felt I had enough use for it. There was never really enough applications where either it was too big in my hand feeling, or it was too small trying to break something loose. And I thought this one might bridge that gap of making it feel too small or too big part. That, you know, I'll go to 1/4 inch anyways if it's too big. But having that feeling where I might be able to get some more use out of this one because of just that extra little bit of length and then that cushion grip. So that's why I bought that one, just to see what it could do, and would it be more beneficial having just that little bit of extra length. The other one is the 1/4 inch flex head with the soft grip again. And what I like about this is, or what I'm hoping to like about this, is the tooth count, the 90 teeth. When it comes to other companies, you know, you have your Snap-on, you have your Mac, your Matco. I've never been a fan of Matco ratchets. I always felt like they just had way too much slop. You know, if you put the socket on a Matco one, you literally move the socket up and down, even more so than this one, because the way it's designed and held on, it's just a plate with a snap ring. Well, having all that extra slop is annoying, and then when you do it and you have it kind of cocked on an angle, you know, those teeth can become misaligned because they're being pressured, too much pressure on one part of the paw, and it's not actually, it can bind up, and I found that a lot with the Matco ratchet. The 88 teeth were nice, but I wasn't able to utilize it in the way I wanted to, so I got rid of it and traded it in actually on a Snap-on. The Snap-ons are nice, but they're only 72 teeth, and you can only go so far with 72 teeth. And, you know, I found in an application not that long ago, I was doing a DPF sensor module, and they have two 8mm bolts, and one of them was tucked in behind the sensor and behind a plate that guarded the sensor from getting damaged, and a frame rail. And there was a bunch of wiring harnesses, and all the air lines were going through it, and to get there I had to have a flex head, and it had to be angled just about like that, and then I could only move it so far, and after a while I started losing the ability to get teeth locked on, and I could only maybe move one at a time, and actually ended up not being able to move the ratchet at all enough to engage the teeth, because I was getting into a spot where it was basically hitting the handle, and I couldn't really get the handle farther to ratchet more. So what I was hoping is that having the extra, 18 extra teeth, that I might be able to grab an extra couple more teeth. And for me, the backlash on it isn't all that bad compared to the Snap-on. I have a Snap-on running right here. Actually, it's actually better than the Snap-on. Just by feel. I'm not going to put an angle meter on it and tell you, oh, this one's 1.2 degrees better than this one. I'm not going to. Just by feel, it feels a lot better. Now, the smoothness, again, feels so much better. I've had this thing for a couple years, and I've used it quite a bit, so you'd think it would loosen up over time. But actually, it feels so much smoother in just the gear operation. There's less the pressure on the paw to the gear doesn't feel as rough. You know, the way the teeth are clicking, it feels so much smoother in the Icon. It could be that it's brand new and it's packed with grease. I'm not sure. I'm not going to tear it open. That's not what I'm about here in the channel. I just buy the tool and I use it. And so far, I'm very happy with how they operate just in my hand. I'm really hoping they hold up in the shop, and so I can come back and tell you, hey, these are the shit. You know, and for the price, I think I paid, $34.99 per each ratchet, which I thought was incredible, because I paid $115 for this little 1/4 inch one from Snap-on. So having that price difference is amazing. Now, the one thing I like about it too is the length. If you look at it, it's maybe ½ an inch longer than the chrome ratchet from Snap-on. Now, Snap-on has a comfort grip 1/4 inch, and that extra length from the Snap-on is actually maybe an inch longer than this one, if I can remember. I remember measuring it, and I think it was just about 8½ inches long. So the 1/4 inch flex head is 7 inches long. So that 1.5 inches, that actually adds quite a bit of length to a ratchet. And when you're in a tight space like I was, having that extra length, that actually can cause a huge problem, because having that extra 1.5 inches hitting a wire harness, and all of a sudden you have no more room, and you can't even use the tool anymore. You got to back the bolt back or nut back off or back on to get your ratchet out of the way, so you figure something else out. So having that extra short length with the soft grip, I really like that in this ratchet. And the other thing is, I have carpal tunnel. It's starting to become worse and worse. And what I find is, when I'm holding something that small in my fingers and I'm almost pinching it, you know, it's only, I don't even know, 7/16 of an inch thick at the thinnest part of the handle, and back here, and you're pinching, and you're kind of in a weird spot, and you're ratcheting, all of a sudden your hand's locked, and you can't even get your ratchet out of your hand because it's locked like that. With the comfort grip, it gives you extra, basically it's extremely thick the whole way through that handle. Now, it could be a problem in a really tight situation where then you can't actually even turn it to get a tooth, but it feels better in my hand to be able to grip it as such and ratchet it off, and it doesn't feel like my hand's going to cramp up as much or as bad. The only downfall I'm finding with this ratchet is, look how thick that is compared to the snap-on. It's, I wouldn't say double, but the thickness of the snap-on ratchet is almost as thick as from the edge of the head to the edge of the handle. Just that much. So, I mean, they really packed on some meat there to stiffen up that flex point, which is a good thing, because that's, you know, the weakest point on a ratchet is the flex point, because that's where all your pressure is going, and then the ratchet, the drive part itself. But, you know, in some situations, that might actually be a problem for the swing arc being too fat right there. But in all reality, I don't think it will be, but it is a concern for me. But it feels like a good ratchet. It feels good in the hand. Like I said, just in my hand with the gears, everything feels nice. The chrome's nice. The handles feel excellent. They almost feel exactly like the snap-on ones. I have really no true fears of them not lasting in the shop. And if they don't, guess what? Lifetime warranty, just get another one. And, but, yeah, I'm excited. You know, there's quite a few things there I want to buy and try out. But I wanted to start with the ratchets, because I'm sure this is something that I'm going to use out of the gate right away Monday morning, or even tomorrow when I'm doing the side job for my buddy on his truck. So, anyway, so that's me. That's my stuff today. Icon Tools. I think they're going to be the future of Harbor Freight. I think they're going to really change the game for the professional and even the DIYer who wants to buy professional quality at a lower price. Not the lowest price, but at a lower price. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment in the bottom. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, a thumbs down if you didn't. Thanks, guys.